So we got a super from Black Cat who said, finally a day off to watch this damn stream again. Here, have some money. Playing FF, eating spaghetti. Oh, shit. Like just a real good spaghetti. It's doing so well right now. And watching my favorite stream. What else do you need in life? Well, shit, I'm glad you're happy. And thank you. And Black Cat also did have another question saying, you kidding me? There's even more stakes in character deaths than ever before. If Khadgar's killed, we have to spend hours in boring goddamn Maw or Korthia looking for him. That's it, Matt. You know, you mistook a clean, simple death for, Khadgar dies, and now we got to go to the Maw and fish him out.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, man, yeah. Fun. And, the world-building implications of being able to go to the afterlife are... I feel like Blizzard have got so lost in the big logical building out of this, like, the cosmic structure that the fungi of reality grew upon, if we're to use the Grimoire bit, that maybe they've forgotten about some of the very, if I'm a cheesemonger in Stormwind, like a certain one who is also an SI7 agent, and I find out about the Shadowlands and the afterlife, how does that change my life? Which I think that's the perspective in the lore that a lot of players are a bit closer to.
Yep.
RazorClaw999, do you guys think with the big Elune stuff in the cinematic, the Blizzard wanted / is going to get us lifelines in 10.0? They're certainly setting up Elune, and Elune is probably something to do with life, and life is the big cosmological opponent of death, and the Dreadlord infiltration document says that life is the most insidious of them, and that really has me goddamn terrified that Lifelands is the next expansion, and that is absolutely not what Warcraft needs. It would damage Warcraft. We need to get back to Azeroth. There's a chance it could be that. They're certainly setting up something with Elune in the future.
Yep.
I just hope it is not like Shadowlands, and I kind of hope we never do anything like Shadowlands again. Take us to some wacky places. Please keep it grounded, and just pay attention to the sort of low level, of the world building. We got from D5 again, who said, we're at a point where we need a macro story told through a Warcraft 4 type experience and a micro experience that develops through the individuals. Which, I think the point there is, do Warcraft 4, reestablish where we are in the Warcraft universe and franchise, and move on from that point. Entirely agree. Part of that's because I really would like a Warcraft 4, and I know it's not going to happen. But something like that, where Blizzard could actually have the time and the space to do all of their stories justice, and then the MMO, picks up the baton after whatever that experience is, I'm 100% for that. We've got from Francois, who says, I don't know if what's happening in Shadowbringers could be qualified as cosmology, but it feels so much better explained in FF than WoW, even though I really like both games. Ascian plus their god Hydaelyn stuff. So, right. I want to do, discussing this will be fun. However, I also don't want to get spoiled for Shadowbringers. And we don't want to spoil chat for Shadowbringers. So, is there a way that you could sort of neatly summarize the different approaches to the cosmology stuff? At least in my head, from the little bit that I've experienced with Hydaelyn so far, it's that my character feels so well established in the world, and I very much feel very close to my character with how they've done the storytelling, that because these things are happening to my character, because my character is the Warrior of Light, basically, with the echo and everything, that, the crystals, that it's just things that happen to my character. So as those things happen to my character, I understand them and I start to think about them. And it's a very, my experience outward way to build up the lore versus a facts are coming at me through new information sources, which is how WoW sometimes feels. So what do you think?
It's fairly difficult to say without spoiling specific things, but the overall approach is very, very much slow and steady. It's never the core focus. It'll be
Gotcha.
like sometimes there'll be periods of time where that's what they're talking about in game, and they do that fairly regularly, starting from the end of 2.0. But it's like you keep getting looped more and more into this universe, and it's like a really nicely like paced curve upwards in terms of what it feels like, but it runs parallel to staying completely grounded. So there's never a point where you never jump the shark in how you feel. Like it's the thing where if you look back at the same with any expansion, if you look back at the end of an expansion to where you started, you're like, fucking hell, that was a journey. So, and it just kind of is like that, where you're so engrossed the whole way, you don't really get exploded. You never go, you never look around and go, where am I? What's going on? You're always in tune, essentially. That's one of the important parts. The other part is everything's delivered the same way. Everything is delivered by a character, especially because your knowledge and character knowledge are largely There are times where the story will cut away to something else.
Yeah.
And then your character will learn about that a little bit later. But it is mostly things are delivered to your character eventually. That's where your knowledge will be crystallized, where it will all be, largely speaking. And it's always explained to you in the way, it's never explained in a book that you have to read. Not like a literal book, but like it's not explained in a wall of text that you have to read. It's explained through dialogue, where someone's going, oh, here's a thought. Or, someone who, especially because the Scions are very fucking smart people. Like the whole...
Actually, that's a big thing. In WoW, constantly it feels like the player character and the various, supporting cast, like they understand so little of the universe they're in versus the players playing the game that it constantly feels like we just keep on, getting ourselves in the darndest of situations.
Yeah, whereas the Scions are smart people, and they're substantially smarter than the Warrior of Light. Mm-hmm. Like they are, the Warrior of Light is an adventurer who may be like a scholar as a job or an astrologian and be intelligent in that sense, or like whatever kind of black mage, white mage, smart shit. But the other Scions are the ones that deliver you information a lot of the time, and they are literally learned scholars who will, maybe you'll not see a character for a while, and they'll come back and go, yes, I was just here researching this. Here's what I've learned. Boil it down, and then you kind of go on this journey of understanding more about everything as time goes on, and that's the best part. That's the best part.
I think it's wrapped up, and I mean, I've seen barely any of the cosmic stuff in FF, but from the tiny bits I've seen, that certainly tracks.